Guys, welcome back to Tessa Tries. We're so back, and if you can't tell by the smile on my face, I'm a happy woman. I'm so glad we're back. It's been a hot minute, and I've been a busy girl. So let's get into it and find out what the heck I've been up to, shall we? In this episode, I'm going to be doing a year in review. We're going to discuss the good, the bad, the ugly, and has there been a few uglies? We've kissed a few frogs this year, let's just put it that way. So I'm going to be discussing all of these things with you and discussing the ins and outs of the year, discussing whether I smashed last year's goals. I actually found an episode where I manifested 2025 and let's just say it did not go to plan. So we're going to be discussing all of that and I'm super duper excited. Here's a quick rundown of what the hell I've been doing this year because 2025 has been crazy. It starts off, I'm having a blast. I'm at the fellas. I'm literally living my best life. I was like, this is the best job in the world. I love it here. Gets to February, I'm unemployed. Basically, I was on a freelance contract, so they didn't need me anymore. And so I was unemployed. I was jobless. I was homeless. And I had no money. So I had to move back to Scotland from London, which I'm not going to lie, play the tiny violin. It was pretty sad. I was pretty distraught, especially because in my manifestation pod, I'd been saying 2025 is going to be the year for me. I actually started the episode off saying how I was going to be really rich. And to be honest, I do feel like I am rich. I'm not rich by the definition of rich, but like I'm rich in life. Do you know what I mean? Not to be all soppy and whatnot, but I remember thinking when I was younger, I will have made it when I can buy myself coffee every day. Because coffees in London especially are pretty expensive. They're like $3.60 a day or $3.60 probably. I got an ice wet Americano and they're about $3.60. And if I can afford to do that every single day, let's quickly do the maths. Maybe that's not. £3.50, £3.60 a day, 7 days a week. What's that? 21, 25, like 25 quid almost, probably a bit more. A month, that's £100. Oh, she's good at maths. Oh, she passed maths. Just by the skin of my teeth. Anyway, that's about £100 a month, which is an extortionate amount. I don't want to work that out for the year. But I thought if I can afford to buy a coffee every single day, then I'm rich. And also, I just have so many great friends, a great family. I have a roof over my head, so I kind of am rich. It depends how you look at being rich, but I think rich is having a lot of friends, a lot of people you can speak to if you need, and I can buy myself coffee every day. So basically, I'm fucking loaded. I'm not by any means, but compared to last year, I really am. Anyway, I started this podcast episode being like, Mom, Dad, get yourself on a flight. We're going on holiday. Anyway, I absolutely did not get my parents a holiday. That did not happen. Anyway, I don't know where I've just gone there. Let's go back. It's February. I'm unemployed. I've moved back home. I'm #sad. I have Valentine's Day here by myself alone. Who feels sorry for me? Because I do. Anyway, actually it was quite nice because some people have boyfriends who are just like useless. And so on Valentine's Day, it's probably even worse. I'd rather be alone having fun than with a useless boyfriend. Hey. Anyway, so then March rolls around. I'm still unemployed. I'm actually in chats with the sidemen at that point. That never came to fruition, so don't get excited. But I was thinking maybe I'm going to do that. Maybe I'm going to do that. Anyway, I end up landing a job on Traitors. #Traitors, y'all. I work on Traitors for 2 months. Again, whole podcast episode about Traitors will come out because let me tell you, that place is crazy. Inverness, it do be popping off. Let me tell you, Inverness is absolutely #crazy, and I will be doing a whole separate episode on that. In fact, that will be the next one after this one, so make sure to listen in. Behind the scenes goss, the partying antics of the runners, and maybe a wee romance. Maybe a wee romance here and there sprinkled in. Anyway, so I did that for 2 months and then I ended up working at the fellas and I've been working at the fellas ever since, guys. So I went from having my dream job, losing that, being unemployed, not knowing what the hell I was doing, moving back to London and getting my dream job back. And actually it's been even better. I also listened to the part in last year's pod where I'm like, guys, the woman that goes into the fellas is not me. Like, I'm so shy, I'm so awkward, I don't know what I'm doing. It's just hell. Guys, guess what? Now I go in. Oh, I'm myself. Bit of a flex, but I absolutely am myself when I go in, and that's really nice, and I really feel happy about that. So anyway, I then worked there for until now. I'm still there. I've got my probation meeting in Jan, so we'll see how that goes. Fingers crossed. Although when I was at the Christmas dinner, they were doing speeches and they were like, who want, like, the Cal and Chip did speeches, and then Elliot did a speech, and they were like, who else has got a speech? Tessa will have a speech. And I thought, no, don't make me talk. Don't make me do it. Fine. And I stood up and I said, oh, I'm having so much fun. Thanks for having me. I said, hopefully I pass my probation. Fingers crossed. Looked at Chip. Give my wee wink, wink, budge, budge. I didn't. I just looked at him. And then everyone went, oh. And then he went, you've passed. And then I jumped up and down for joy. Obviously, I don't think that's a binding contract, but I have high hopes that I will pass my probation. So you'll hear it here first, hopefully. Now, things I've tried this year, I went on a live podcast tour. Assistant produced that with Saving Grace, GK Barry, as you know her as, which if you told me that last year, I would have laughed in your face. I would have said, ha ha ha, that cannot be true. Oh, but it is. And listen to this, past Tessa. I got a text this year, everyone, from Jedward. The John and Edward texted this old chump saying, Merry Jedmas. Guys, I've made it. Your wee Don from Scotland has made it. Jedward now text me. Flex. Oh, she's flexing. She's flexing. That's freaking cool as chips. Like, what are you talking about? If you told me that last year, I would have said, shut the front door. But it's true. I received a text from them and it did make my day and maybe my whole year. So the year did start off jepic, if you will. Okay, let's move on to in and outs. My last year's in and outs were, let's have a look, setting boundaries, being myself at work, and posting content. Now, as you'll know, I've not posted a podcast in about a year, so that one did not go really to plan. However, I was a busy girl. I was booked and busy, so the old side hustle had to take a little nap. Had a little hibernation sesh, but we're so back, so it's okay now. It's all gonna start from here. Setting boundaries, I feel like I actually did a lot of the time. Did have a bit of a slip up in Inverness, where a few boundaries were crossed. But that's okay. These things happen. I feel like I did set boundaries though, and that's really good. And if you're listening to this, you should absolutely do that because it's great. I also wanted to be a bitch. One of my goals was to be a bit more of a bitch. And I think I've actually succeeded in that. I feel like I'm coming into my own as a bitch. I'm saying things like, oh, you're a dweeb, you're a loser. I'm not really, but I do think we should bring them back and I'll get onto that later in the pod actually. My outs for last year were mouth breathing, getting blackout drunk, and I don't know what the third one was. I have no idea what the third one was. And again, when I was listening to the last podcast, I was really worried that Cal Freezy was going to come up to me in work and say, you're a mouth breather. What a ridiculous, why would he do that? There's still time, but I don't know. I was just like really panicked he was going to do that to me for some reason. I was like, he's done it to GK Barry. He'll do it to me next. Why would he go up to a new employee and say, you look like a stinking mouth breather? Obviously, he's not going to do that. But now we're comrades, colleagues. Maybe he'd say that to me. I don't know. Anyway, let's get into this year's ins for the year because I've got a few and I want to talk about them. Hey, and where else can I do that bar on this bloody pod? Things I've tried this year that I think should be an in for 2026. Snogging. I think snogging is a lost art. And actually, there's a Vogue article about how people have stopped kissing people as much in clubs, out in public. Why? Riddle me this. I don't know if it's because I'm 26. I don't know if it's because it's not really a cool thing to do. Maybe I think it's a post-COVID apocalyptic thing, maybe. Like, during COVID, there was a lot of germs being spread. Maybe people didn't want to catch germs. But I think just bring back kissing. We absolutely should be kissing people all the time. I don't know why we're not. I just think it's fun. And what I have learned this year, though, is some people can't kiss. I know that sounds like a really stupid thing. Maybe it's because I've had too much practice, hey? Legend. But like, why are you 30 years old and you can't kiss? Riddle me that. The Riddler. Someone tell me that. I kissed like a 31-year-old or something sometime this year and he like didn't know how to kiss. He was really, really bad. And I thought, oh, this is so disappointing. Why have you never learned the art of a snog? Just wondering, asking for a friend. Asking for me, actually, who you're trying to kiss right now, and it's not working. Why can't you do that? Anyway, that's something I think we should absolutely bring back. How crazy is this? Kissed this boy. I was on a night out, kissed this boy. I was so drunk. He actually walked me home, which was very sweet of him. And then he was kind of like trying to come into my home. And I said, hey, whoa there, tiger. That's not happening. I said, oh no. I said, I did warn you, if we kiss, you can't fall in love with me because, hey, I have that effect on people. I know that's maybe hard to believe, but hey, I've got a pass. I've got a track record. I was like, you cannot fall in love with me, and like this is not going to go anywhere. I don't want to like get your hopes up or set your expectations too high, but this is just like a fun kiss and a night out, and it's never going to be anything else. He was like, no, I think blah blah blah. And I said, I warned you. I did warn you, pal. I did warn you. Anyway, a few days later, he was like, oh, can I get your Instagram and stuff? And I said, no, I told you that's not the way it's going. It's been a fun night. Let's leave it at that. And he was like, I'm going to find you on Instagram. And I said, don't do that because I'm not going to reply. I will literally not reply to you. And I wasn't meaning to be nasty, although this year I'm trying to be more of a bitch, obviously. I wasn't meaning it in a nasty sense. I was meaning it more of like, just don't bother. Let's just cut our losses. Let's remember this as a fun night of passion, kissing in the streets. Let's not worry about that. Anyway, a few days later, I receive a text at 4 a.m. on Instagram. Sorry, not text, an Instagram DM. I told you I'd find you somehow. Full stop. Sorry? Is that a threat? Is that a threat? What do you mean? Why are you texting girls saying that? That's absolutely mental. Anyway, I obviously didn't reply because I did warn him, hey, I'm not going to reply to you. But can you blame him? He's only human. You got to shoot your shot, and he really shot that bad boy. But I had bulletproof armor on. Let's just say that. So they all got pelted back at him, and I did not retaliate. I put my weapons down and I said, not today. Not today, Instagram man, not today. So, yeah, anyway, let's bring back That was a roundabout way of saying let's bring back snogging, but not creepy DMs. How about that? I've got a question, and it's who invented the saying, oh, you've got to kiss a few frogs to find your Prince Charming? I obviously know it's from that story. Is it Princess and the Frog? just guessing here. Princess and the Frog? Yeah, I get it. But also, are you just kissing ugly people? Here's my hot take. Are you just kissing too many ugly people and you're trying to validate that the reasons you're doing that is because you have to do that to find your Prince Charming? Can we not just kiss really attractive people? People that are way out of our leagues? Can we not do that? I'd much rather do that and then find my Prince Charming than kiss tons of frogs and then find him. Do you know what I mean? I'll have slime on my lips. I don't want that. I don't want frog spawn on my lips. I want way out of reach men. That's what I want. It's what I want for Christmas. That's just food for thought for you. Who came up with that rhyme? Were they just kissing tons of frogs? Where did it come from? Or was someone literally kissing frogs? Another thought for you. Ribbit. Don't know why I did that, but I'm going to keep that in. So enjoy that. Another thing I think we should absolutely be doing in 2026 is muting people on Instagram and on any form of social media and blocking them as well. Because I always thought that's too far. Like I don't want to block people. That feels too far. Let me tell you, first of all, I did block someone because last year they tried to Merry Christmas their way back into my life, and I said, nay, I don't want that. I don't want a Merry Christmas text when I'm single at Christmas from a strange man I've kissed. Do you know what I mean? I don't want that. So I blocked him. Have I ever heard from him since? No, because he's blocked. And that's kind of how it works, guys. It's as easy as that. What I have done recently, though, is mute people on Instagram, and it has been freeing, to say the least. What is amazing about muting people is that they don't know you've muted them. Obviously, you'll stop engaging with any of their content, but it's so freeing. Like, I saw this boy briefly in March, and then I was like, oh, I'm actually really just going to miss you, and like, it's going to annoy me seeing all your content because he was like moving away. So I was like, I'm going to mute you. And I actually told him, I said, I'm muting you. So don't expect me to like any of your Instagrams. And he was like, why would you do that? And I said, I don't want to see you respectfully. I do not want to see your face on my grid. Sorry. Also, when me and my ex broke up a billion trillion years ago, I had muted him, but then I actually muted all his friends as well because I kept getting jump scares where I'd see him with people in my friends' posts, and it was like him with his new girlfriend, and I was like, whoa, hey, so guess what? I do not want to see that. Oh, guess what? I don't want to see that. That is not content I want to see. So I muted basically all their friends as well. I'm really sorry to any of those friends if you listen to this, but I did have to mute you all because I was sad. How about that? There, I'll say it. And I'll say it with chest. I was sad, and so you had to be muted. Also, I now just mute annoying people as well. I mean, I'm probably muted from a few people because I do post quite a lot on Instagram. Like, I love a grid post. And so if you've muted me, fair play to you, total respect. But it's just like a mutual thing, and it's nicer than blocking or like removing someone as a follower because it's like, oh, I don't mind you as a follower. I'll sometimes engage with your content. I'll look you up sometimes, but I'm not gonna see all your posts and like them all. It's just not gonna happen. Sorry. Happy Hanukkah. Don't care. So that's number 2. Number 2 is muting people, and I honestly beg you all do it. Number 3, let's bring back playground bullying. As in, not literal. I don't think kids should be bullied, obviously. Obviously, I don't think anyone should actually be bullied. That's horrible and really nasty. But I think we should be calling people dweebs. Where did that go? You dweeb! Like, where? I just want to be in the office and someone say something and me say, oh, you're such a stinking dweeb. I just spat there when I said that because I said it with so much passion and energy. I just think words like that are so funny. Maybe like dweeb, maybe. What else have I got here? I wrote, oh, dickhead. I respectfully love the word dickhead. And I don't even mean it in like a nasty way at all. I mean it just like, oh, dickhead. You know, when someone says something, it's like a funny joke, they got you good, and you're like, oh, you're such a dickhead. You don't actually hate them. You don't actually want to be nasty to them. But it's just like, oh, you, but you're saying dickhead. And it just sounds great. And I think we should bring it back. Although, having said that, I don't know if I'd want to be called a dickhead, so don't call me that. Maybe in the way I just described it, but I wouldn't want someone to actually think I was a dickhead. I guess. Also, here's another question for you, and this is just ridiculous, but does the term dickhead, does it come from the head? Does it come from the head of a dick? The head of a dick? Or is it like your head is a dick? Just food for thought again. I've never really thought about that, but it's come to me now, and I must find out the answer. So where does that come from? Someone let me know. I'd love to know the origin story of dickhead. So I think just some funny names we should bring back. It's just fun, just lighthearted. Lighthearted jest, I would call it, and I think we should really bring that back. Now, the out of 2025, things we're leaving in 2025, bringing to 2026. The first one, being sober. I actually was sober for about 4 months of the year, and what I will say is, do you know what broke the sobriety for me? I had no plans. I kind of thought maybe I'd do the whole year after a while of it because I felt so good. I literally felt amazing, guys. Did not feel anything bad. The only time sometimes I was a bit socially anxious, but bar that, I felt like literally incredible, superhuman. My ego was through the roof. I had a massive head because obviously I was better than everyone because I wasn't drinking. And the thing that got me was I was actually in Copenhagen with Erin, and we were having this really nice meal. It was like Asian cuisine. And I was like, God, I'd love a glass of wine. Like, why am I not having a glass of wine just because I've just decided that I'm never going to drink ever again? Like, that's crazy. So I had a big fat glass of wine and ended up going on a massive fat night out. So I didn't start with moderation again. I just went full throttle, guns. What's that expression? Balls to the walls. It was really good, and I'm really glad I'm back on the drinking hype. Actually, to be honest, I've had some hilarious memories with my new work whilst having a chapel, and I wouldn't change it actually. So being sober was good, but I'm loving not being sober. So how about that? But also, guys, I was sober on my birthday this year, and let me tell you, it was actually hell and horror. Like, I did not like it. I basically went for my birthday to this pub, and I left it all a bit last minute. I think I usually leave my birthdays last minute so that people can't cancel and so I don't get disappointed. But you best believe people still cancelled. So I booked this pub, Duke of Edinburgh in London. If you know it, great pub, great outdoor seating. went there, and like on the day, people were messaging me, sorry, can't come anymore. And I was like, right, okay, cool, fine. Then when I was there, people were messaging me like, some of my friends were messaging me an hour into the pub, being like, oh, I can't come, sorry. And I was thinking, right, do you know what would have made that more manageable? A Prosecco in hand. Something like that. Then I was a bit nervous because I have lots of different friends from different groups. I was nervous they weren't going to get on, and like some people were just acting a bit crazy. And I was just like, what is going on? This is stressing me out. Anyway, then it gets to like 11 at night. Everyone leaves bar. I think there's about 4 of us left. I was kind of keen to go to Blues Kitchen. Again, great blues bar if you know it. Jazz bar, sorry. And about 4 of my friends came. Thank you to them. Love you dearly. But we get there and everyone is really quite drunk. Obviously, I'm sober. I'm like, this is fine. This is fun. Like, loving the jazz. I was like, this is pretty epic, actually. I've never really appreciated how good the jazz players are when you're there. So I was like, this is amazing. And then within probably, I want to say half an hour, my friend's phone was stolen. R.I.P. Erin's phone. Pleasure. We miss you wherever you are, probably in a shop being sold. But yeah, it got stolen at the bar within honestly half an hour. And then obviously Erin was really upset, naturally, as you would be. And then I was like, well, we're not staying here. We have to go and like try and get your phone back or like cancel all your cards or something. So then we left. Did we get a McDonald's or something? I think we maybe did. And that was probably the highlight of the That's so embarrassing. But I honestly think that could have been the highlight of the evening because it was just a hashtag disaster. And I don't want to subscribe to the sober birthday again. Next birthday, I want to be drunk and I want to be having a great time. I don't want to take it too far, obviously. I don't want to be like blackout drunk, but I would like a tipple in hand at all times. And also, people on your birthday will get you free drinks and stuff. Like, come on, yeah, get it. Free drinks for me. I'm the birthday girl. People want to do that because they're nice. When you're sober, you're having like 15 Cokes or like 13 lemonades. That's not on. You just become a fizzy juice at that point yourself. You're bubbling up. Horrible. Yeah, wouldn't recommend that. Would not recommend that to a friend, to be honest. So I will absolutely not be sober for my next birthday. And you can count on that. And guys at home, you can count on that. I'll be slurring my words. I'll be drunk. Brilliant. And hopefully I'll be kissing someone hot. How about that? The next out for me is flaky people and being a flake myself because, hey, we've all been there. We all go through times where we don't want to do something. But I think from now on, the rule of thumb should be if you don't want to do something, don't sign up to it in the first place. Just say, I don't want to do that. It's as easy as that. Or say, oh, I'm busy that day, sorry. But what not to do is like some of the people on my birthday and some people I know, hey, call out post to you guys, is cancel on the day, cancel the day before, blah, 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 cancel. Fair enough, cancel in advance. I think that's different. And also if you've got valid reasons, obviously cancel. I'm not saying you can never cancel plans ever. Obviously, I'm just saying instead of that, cancel ahead of time. Like just don't accept the plan in the first place because it's annoying. Having said that, I did agree to go to Erin's she's having something on Saturday and I did actually pull out of it. But hey, I pulled out of it more than a week in advance, whereas I could have pulled out on it on the day. Is this making sense or am I being a hypocrite? I can't quite work it out. I think also normalize not meeting up with flaky people. Like if you've got a friend who just flakes on you all the time, just like doesn't meet you, I think cut them off. Maybe don't cut them off. Just don't put all your effort into trying to meet them because they're not putting any effort into trying to meet you. So why should you use your valuable hard-earned time to give someone else? I just don't think it's fair. I don't think it's right. Boom. I've said it. Okay, my third out is super self-explanatory, but can we just stop judging people? How about that? I don't understand when people judge people for certain things, like for certain things. So sometimes it's allowed. No, I'm like, so I wear these shoes. Anyone from my work listening knows the shoes I mean, but they're Taekwondo shoes, they're Adidas. They're really cool and I get so much hate for them. Luckily, I'm a legend and I can take the hate on my shoes because I think they're really cool and I think everyone's jealous. Whether they are or not is besides the point. I think they're really cool. But everyone's like, oh my God, your shoes. And I'm like, Okay, but are you jealous? And also, why do you care? They're not on your feet. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'd see something and be like, oh, I wouldn't wear that myself. Yeah, but like, if you like it, obviously you wear it because you're going to be the one wearing it. Or, you know, when someone's like, oh, why are they doing that? Is it literally involving you at all? If it's affecting your life, fair enough. But if it's not, then like, why are you worried? You know, when someone's like, it's so cringe, they're doing this. Blah, 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 blah. Don't get me wrong, I've definitely said that in the past by people. I'm not saying I'm a saint. I'm sure I've said that by people. But let's just stop it. Okay, let's just try and make a conscious effort to stop doing that, because just because you're jealous of something doesn't mean you need to judge it. Okay. Although if you do get a fillet of fish at McDonald's, I will be judging. No, I'm just kidding. I actually won't, because my friend's boyfriend now, he actually admitted that he gets a fillet of fish because he's vegetarian. And I just thought, fair play. And fair play for you to admitting that, because a lot of people would judge that. But obviously he felt like it was a safe space. And so it's no judgment zone here. So I was thinking, yeah, fine, get your fillet of fish. Enjoy that. Do you know what I am judging myself about, actually? The other day I went on a night out. Classic, took it too far. Came home, ordered myself McDonald's. There must have been a deal on, like 2 for 1. So I got myself 2 Big Mac meals. And I fell asleep, didn't wake up. Didn't even realize I'd ordered them, quite frankly. Woke up in the morning to my brother saying goodbye. He was getting on the train and he was like, McDonald's is downstairs, by the way. I said, what? He said, 5 in the morning. Woke me, mum, and dad up. And I fear they were judging me for ordering 2 meals for myself. Obviously, I'd probably judge myself for that as well. Like, why was I doing that? Clearly just hungry. But yeah, I was in a bit of trouble for that one. I was not their biggest fan, so I'm sure I got judged for that. And I was kind of judging myself, especially the next day when I was trying to eat them cold. And it wasn't the tastiest. McDonald's actually slaps when you're drunk, and it slaps when you're sober, but when it's the next day, the only person that should be slapping yourself, because it's not nice the next day. And let's not pretend it is. Something I did judge myself for this year is that I actually cried when I lost Monopoly. Every year we do an annual Monopoly, very fun, very great tradition. I cried when I lost. And I think it must be something deep rooted. I've not really quite worked out what it is. But why am I crying? I'm 26 years old and I've had to mortgage my properties. I think it's because everyone this year said, Tessa, you're going to do it. You're going to do so well. This is your year for Monopoly, girl. You're going to get it. Let me tell you, I did not get it. I got by Monopoly, and I did come last. I did cry. And everyone on my Instagram always votes every year for me. It's so lovely. It's so sweet. But guys, you're losing every year with me. So think about that. Make better choices. Decide wisely, okay? Maybe next year will be my year. Let's hope so. Anyway, that's my third out. So let's just recap 3 ends of the year. Snogging people all the time. Muting people all the time. Calling people dweebs and dickheads all the time. Perfect. I think they're great ends. Let me know if you agree or you disagree. Outs for the year. We are leaving behind being sober in 2025. None of this clean girl shit. None of this matcha bullshit. We're getting drunk. Number 2. Flaky people. We're leaving them in 2025. If you're flaking on me, I'm muting you. Mate, I'm absolutely muting you out of my life. And third, lastly, but not least, judging people, especially for fillet of fish at McDonald's. Do your thing, get your fillet of fish, see if I care. And there's the tea. So that is my ins and outs for the year. What I will say is, please tell me yours first of all. And second of all, I think this is going to be the year, guys. I know last year I was saying, I'm going to be rich, I'm going to be rich. Well, I feel like I fulfilled that. As I said, I can buy myself a coffee every day and I've got great friends and family. So I am #rich in life. Second of all, I just have a great feeling. And I'm going to turn 27, which is #crazy, y'all. But how lucky am I for turning 27? I always say this when my friends are like, I'm aging. Guys, it's pretty lucky to live to 27. So let's all just be grateful. #blessed. Anyway, that's it from me. It's been an absolute pleasure as per flippin' usual. And I hope you all have a great year. I feel like this is honestly the year of Tessa. It's the year of you guys. It's the year of the tiger, I think. That could be a massive lie. Whatever the year is, make it your year. Yeah. Please do tell me what I should try this year. episodes coming up. We've got Traitors. Obviously, I worked on that. I worked on Virgin Island, so I'll be dishing the dirt on that. I have tried Rejection quite a lot. I've tried some nasty TV rats. I've dated a few of those. Need some rat poison or something. Get rid of them. Vermin. I've dated some vermin in TV. Let's call them that. So I will be discussing all of these in future podcast episodes. But let me know what else you think I should try. I am always open to suggestions. And hey, I'm always trying crazy things. So you can listen to Tessa Tries bi-monthly. How about that? So twice a month, you'll get a cheeky wee app and you can listen to it on a walk. You can listen to it in the car and now you can watch it. So make sure to watch it on YouTube. Make sure to leave some lovely comments saying how much you're obsessed with me, how much you love Tessa Tries, and what I should try next. And that would just be honestly epic, and I would love that a lot. So you should really do that. See ya on the flipper flopper. Give that dog a bone, and what can you do with a drunken sailor? Am I right? Bye. Bye, bye, bye.